Welcome. In this video, we will try to understand the latest amendment related to the land in Jammu and Kashmir. So, Jammu and Kashmir has been converted into a union territory along with another union territory which was part of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir by the Reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir Act of 2019. One of the major points which were mentioned by the Amit Shah during the time he put the bill on the table was that because of the various features mentioned by the article 370 and because of which Jammu and Kashmir had a special status, that kind of included or kind of provided or contributed towards the backwardness of the region and why the investors did not go ahead. So one of the very major reason was because the land was specifically marked for the people who were the domicile of Jammu and Kashmir. So in this video, we will try to understand what the latest amendment is all about, what are the other features which are associated with this, and what are the other things which are happening around in the background. So this will be the agenda for this video. So let's begin. The first thing that we will know is that recently the center notified that the Union Territory Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Adoption of Central Law 3rd Order 2020. So just remember the Reorganization Act came in 2019 and after that there have been central law notification. So this was the third order. Like earlier orders have also been issued for taking various measures. This was a third order which states that any citizen can now buy land in Jammu and Kashmir without being a domicile. So the whole criteria on which it was based that a person should be a domicile of the Jammu and Kashmir and then only they will be able to buy the land over there has been done away with. So this is the major amendment which has been pushed. The introduction of the UT and GNK reorganization adaptation of central laws third order has resulted in the repeal of at least 11 land laws in Jammu and Kashmir. Now this is something for you to remember that it also led to repeal of the laws which were already in practice in Jammu and Kashmir, including the Jammu and Kashmir Being Landed States Abolition Act that has resulted in famous land to tiller rights. So that is one of the major act which was there in Jammu and Kashmir, and in fact it has been noticed that Jammu and Kashmir is also one of the state where after independence the redistribution of land happened way better than the other parts of country. The other states were the Kerala and West Bengal. So apart from that, even though with all the initiatives which were taken by the nascent government of Jawaharlal Nehru over there, even the redistribution of land was imparted with many problems. But on the other hand, the Big Landed States Abolition Act actually helped to provide land to tiller in case of the Jammu and Kashmir. So this was the background. But now with the third order of 2020, this act was also repealed. Now let's also try to understand the various features of the act. So no domicile or permanent resident certificate is required to purchase non-agricultural land in the UT. Now this is a very important fact for you to remember that they are mentioning about the non-agricultural land. There is still some kind of restriction in regard to agricultural land. So if you are going ahead and buying the non-agricultural land in Jammu and Kashmir, you would not have to provide with any kind of permanent resident certificate. People as well as investors outside Jammu and Kashmir can now purchase land in the UT, ending the exclusive rights of local over the land granted under the Article 370, which has now been abrogated under the Indian Constitution. So the whole idea that the new act and new order which has been passed will make it possible for the Indian citizen as well as investors to go ahead and buy the land in Jammu and Kashmir. The center has been arguing that Article 370 hampered development in the UT as investors were unable to purchase land prior to 5th August 2019, which is the date on which the Reorganization Act was passed and the Article 370 was abrogated. So prior to that, the land rights were not given to the investors. Amending the Jammu and Kashmir Land Revenue Act 1996, under which only agriculturalists of J&K can purchase the agricultural land. Now this is also one of the thing which is mentioned in the order, that it's not like the agriculturists of Jammu and Kashmir are only entitled to have the agricultural right, but it will also be passed on to the other people who are outside of Jammu and Kashmir. However, it does not bar the agricultural land to be used for non-agricultural purposes. Now this is an important fact. So it does not mean that the agricultural land could directly be converted for the non-agricultural purposes, and there are still some restrictions placed over there. A district collector can, for an example, can allow the agricultural land to be used for non-agriculture purposes. Now this is also something that the district collector over there will have the authority to go ahead and decide whether the agricultural land could be used for the non-agriculture purposes or not. The other features which are mentioned in the third order includes the center also notified the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act of 2016, which paves the way for the acquisition of land in Jammu and Kashmir by all the Indian citizens. So this was the act which was now notified for the Jammu and Kashmir. Previously, Article 35A of Indian Constitution placed prohibition on the sale of land to those who were not the state subject. So that was also prohibited under the Article 31A, that the sale of the land to the outsiders were also prohibited. It also abolished the Big Land Estate Abolition Act 1950, as mentioned earlier. This act was one of the pioneer in terms of how the land was redistributed among the tillers of the land as well. Which was the rural prosperity and ended landlordism in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, as mentioned earlier, Kerala, West Bengal and Jammu Kashmir are three states where the land distribution happened in a better way as compared to the other state. When the land distribution, you might have heard about the Land Ceiling Act. It was passed, and all the kind of shuffling which happens with regard to the 9th schedule in Indian Constitution. So if you go ahead and check the early year of Indian independence, you will see that the land was one of the factor, or the Nehru government was socialist, so they had the idea that the land should be redistributed, and the Land Ceiling Act, the 9th schedule act, so that they could go away from the purview of the judicial review. All these things were done for the same thing. On the other hand, in Jammu and Kashmir, the Big States Abolition Act actually helped to realize this. Now, after this third order, there was a special mention for the spouses of Jammu and Kashmir domicile, who shall now be deemed as a domicile. So, interestingly, earlier spouses of domiciles were not considered domiciles. So, if a person who lived in Jammu and Kashmir has married somebody from the other state, those people were not considered as domicile. But this also has been done away with the present amendment. Children of central government officials posted for over 10 years in Jammu and Kashmir will also continue to be considered domicile. So the people of these central government employees who have been there for like over 10 years, those children will also be considered the domicile of Jammu and Kashmir. So these are the major features of the act. Now let's just quickly revise again the major points. So first is that the new law and the exclusive rights of permanent residents are over in land in Jammu and Kashmir. So basically now it will not be an exclusive right of only the people of Jammu and Kashmir, but it is open to all Indian citizens and the investors. People as well as investors outside the UT can purchase the land now. There will be a bar though on the agricultural land to be used for non-agricultural purposes. Land can be transferred in favor of a person or an institution for the purpose of promotion of healthcare or senior secondary or higher specialized education. So the transferring of land in term would be considered in terms of if it is targeting the social sector, which means the education and health. So if the land is being converted or transferred for building up institution of education or for setting up healthcare facility, then in that case it will be allowed. Also, an army officer not below the ranks of corps commander can declare an area as strategic area for operational and training requirement of the armed force. So now this is also an important point, that some area could be considered as strategic by the army and they won't be up for sale. So these are the major thing which has happened with regard to the amendment of land in Jammu and Kashmir. So I hope you have understood this video. it's more likely that you understand the features of the amendment. There will be a lot of articles coming up in the Hindu, the Indian Express also. Go through them, but try to pick out more and more data and be more objective in your analysis. So I hope you have understood everything we have gone through over here. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.